At all times whilst mowing, the operator should be aware of the play around him and position himself so as not to interfere with play. The cutting operation of the semi-rough adjoining the fairway must also follow the same considerations as regards operator awareness and the checking for any coarse debris that could cause mechanical damage to the mower blades. Semi-rough is normally cut once a week at a height range of 20 to 50 millimeters, depending on the type of course, season and weather conditions prevailing at the time. The function and purpose of the semi-rough is to collect a ball that has just missed the fairway, preventing it from going into the rough. The player will still have a chance of making a reasonable shot, but will not have the same advantage as one whose ball remained on the fairway. Reel mowers can be very effective in mowing semi-rough and provide an excellent finish. Because of the conditions under which mowers are expected to work, the unit selected must have an engine capacity with enough power to operate productively and reliably in a wide range of course situations. Heavy, durable, floating cutting units, identically suspended and geometrically balanced, provide superior ground contour following for a superb quality of cut, regardless of terrain. Wide flotation tyres with special tread improve traction and minimise scuffing, ideal for areas where compaction is a concern. Rotary mowers are also ideal machines for mowing the semi-rough. A wide cut deck, positioned out front, follows the ground like smaller trim mowers and provides excellent visibility. A rotary mower cuts grass by impacting the blade cutting edge against the grass blade at a very high velocity. This cutting action requires the cutting edge to be sharp and rotating at an adequate speed. A high level of durability, manoeuvrability and flexibility, combined with the excellent traction provided by a four-wheel drive, are key factors when mowing in tight situations around trees and other static objects. 4 solid rubber deck caster wheels optimize ground contour following. Mistakes, however, should not be punished too severely, and if a distance is misjudged, either wing will pivot away from the struck object. The operator can simply reset the wing from the driver's seat by raising it off the ground and immediately continue the mowing operation. The rough, more than any other feature, serves to set the overall character of a golf course, whilst at the same time framing and defining the boundary of the fairway. It's also, as the name implies, an area on the course where a player expects his ball to find a lie that will inflict some degree of penalty. Rotary mowers are excellent machines for the cutting of the rough at heights of 50 to 100 millimeters. When cutting some rough areas, which may be only once a year, it's very important to walk the area to check on any coarse debris that may be hidden in the long grass. This is particularly important when mowing under mature trees from which branches may have fallen or where there are rocky outcrops. Traction and stability are important features when mowing in these situations, and the recycling of the grass clippings improves productivity as the need to collect and dispose of grass clippings is eliminated. Solid rubber deck caster wheels assist ground contour following, and features such as oversized anti-scalp rollers and adjustable skids virtually eliminate scalping. When cutting very long rough in steep hilly areas, it's vital that the unit selected has enough power and traction to contend with heavy conditions combined with a high level of productivity. Providing excellent rearward dispersion of the grass across the entire width of the deck and enough horsepower to contend with long hours of mowing rugged terrain, these machines will deliver a quality cut in the heaviest of conditions. Rough lines which flow with the coarse features and contours can add tremendous visual appeal and player interest. It also provides a conservation area for plant species, beneficial insects, and other wildlife to flourish in a secure and protected habitat, particularly in urban situations and intensively farmed areas. In some situations, grass clippings which contain nutrients will be removed from conservation areas so as not to upset the natural ecological balance. As with the rough, it is also important when mowing banks that the operator makes a visual check of the area to identify any coarse debris or other hidden obstructions. It's essential that only machines recommended for the task are used, and the machine manual should always be consulted on the limits to the degree of slope on which it can safely operate. These limits must never be exceeded. Before mowing, a risk assessment should always be carried out regarding the area to be cut, the conditions at the time of mowing, and the machinery to be used. Traction and stability, together with good visibility, are the key factors when selecting a ride-on machine for the mowing of banks. Four-wheel drive provides much enhanced traction compared to two-wheel differential lock machines. When working on slopes, a machine with a low centre of gravity will provide additional security for the operator. A roll bar is an important safety feature, as is a seatbelt, which, if fitted, should always be worn. The amount of mowing undertaken on banks will depend on their location and club policy. Short-cut banks, particularly those that may come into play around a green, may need to be cut 3 times a week, others less frequently, with some banks only being cut once in a full year. When manoeuvring on or around banked areas, machine scalping of the turf can be a major problem. It is essential that the machine selected is balanced to follow the surface contours without grounding, even when cutting areas with many undulations. In some difficult and potentially hazardous situations, the mowing of banks should only be undertaken using a hand mower, with the emphasis on safety to the operator, and a result that leaves the area neat and tidy. Versatility, manoeuvrability, and the ability to deliver a high-quality cut are the characteristics needed for the mowing of teeing grounds. Tees come in all shapes, sizes, and varying elevations, with their purpose to provide the golfer with a defined area and a suitable surface from which to make a shot. They should be large enough to accommodate frequent changes of markers to avoid unnecessary turf wear in any one area. High elevated tees with steep sides will require a risk assessment to be carried out before mowing commences. Before mowing, a visual check will be required to remove any ground debris such as studs, tees and divots. Discs and tee markers will need to be moved away from the mowing line. Compact, lightweight design machines produce less compaction of the teeing ground and produce a finer turf surface. Wide flotation tyres with special tread enhance traction and minimise scuffing. Three-wheel drive machines allow for excellent manoeuvrability when close trimming in restricted spaces, and with the engine positioned over the front wheels provide superior balance when negotiating slopes. Mowing should be in straight lines to produce an attractive visual effect, and as before, the accuracy of the first pass will be important to provide the direction for the remaining cuts. After the mowing operation has been completed, replace the tee markers back on the tee in their correct position. Hand mowing using single-unit pedestrian mowers may also be used to good effect to cut tees. They inflict less damage to the turf surface, produce a neat, tidy, clearly defined finish, and provide a visually attractive effect. Some courses may alternate between hand mowing in the winter and ride-on mowers throughout the high-growth spring and summer months.